Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here for our yoga practice prior to the RC. Long, beautiful day ahead. Go ahead and take a few moments to ground down. Feel those sits bones into the earth. Feel activation in the core and the spine as we sit up tall. We're already in day 4. Hopefully you're joining us this morning feeling inspired. Oftentimes these workshops, when we have the opportunity to come together, something, maybe even not what we were expecting, something resonates with our soul and our spirit and lights that little fire inside of us. And so if you're experiencing that, whether from the teaching side or the learning side, I encourage you to really feel into that this morning. Feel into that inspiration and motivation. One of the beauties of yoga practice is we get the opportunity to move things from mind, spirit into body and then back. And so these 3 components that make up who we are sitting here on our mat in this moment can all be nourished. So we'll bring that little fire, that inspiration, passion, motivation, however it's showing up for you this morning. Let's bring that forward and move it into every cell of our being. I invite you to place one hand on low belly and one hand on heart as we sense into this burning passion, motivation, and inspiration within ourselves. Feeling that as a felt sense in heart center and as a deep knowing in hara or lower dantian in that low belly. As our breath comes into the body, we feel the chest expand and then the belly expand. And on the exhale, the belly slides back in towards the spine and the chest softens. Using that contact point of hand on body, we can really become more familiar with the movement of the breath. Feeling the ribs lift as the lungs expand and feeling the belly expand out in all directions as the diaphragm drops down, providing even more room for the breath. And we'll take one more deep cycle here. And with our next inhale, rock forward on those sits bones and then shift to the left sits bone, back into the tailbone and over to the right. And then again, come forward. We can let hands come to the hips, feeling this rotation down in the pelvic bowl, moving up through the hips, through the waist, maybe even now coming into the chest, through the ribs and spine. Nice big circles here, all the way up into the collarbones and the shoulders, maybe even rotating through the head and neck. Moving nice and slow, letting these spirals be really organic. There's no right or wrong here. And then we'll change directions, continue letting them be big, incorporating head, neck, and shoulders. Eventually coming down, softening ribs, waist, and belly. Feeling those articulations of the spine, the awareness now coming down into hips, pelvic bowl, and slowly making our way back to center. Rising up nice and tall from the sits bones and tailbone, finding that little tripod for the pelvis to sit in a neutral place. Spine elongates up the back of the body, back of the neck, and out the center of the head. Inhale, arms rise, long deep breath. On the exhale, we'll French press those arms down by our sides, reaching for the edges of the mat. And then from here, right ear drops towards right shoulder. Reach through the left fingers. Gently allow the chin to drop down towards the chest. And then left ear makes its way over towards the left shoulder. Reach through the right fingers. And chin again drops down towards the chest. And then right ear towards right shoulder. And we come back to center. Nice big shoulder roll, one big roll back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and we'll take one big roll forward. And coming back to midline, arms rise. We're gonna gently grab onto that left wrist and then arc towards the right. Feel the sits bones ground down into the earth. We don't wanna lean all the way into that right side, so keeping ourselves balanced. Reaching through those left fingers. Again, just a gentle pull at the wrist here. We're not trying to create traction. We're just trying to bring a little bit more information into the body and into the joint. Engaging the right side body. Muscle tone is activated here. And then we'll come back through center. Hands reaching for the heavens, and we'll arc to the left as we grab onto that right wrist. Again, just really mild here. We don't need to be yanking or pulling. Just encouraging the joints to open gently. Left side body's activated. And from here, we'll make our way back to center. Hands float down behind us. Interlace the fingers. Knuckles reach towards the earth. Heart opens. Maybe allowing the gaze to rise to where the wall and the ceiling meet out in front of you. And from here, chin drops towards chest as the knuckles continue to reach towards the earth. We're creating lots of space now along the back of the neck, base of the skull. And slowly inhale back to center and gently release. Let's go ahead and slide off of the cushion if you are seated up on one. We're going to bring our feet together, finding Baddha Konasana, and then allow the feet to be a fair distance away from your pelvis so that we're taking up the full width of the mat. Right hand comes underneath the right ankle, and then that right elbow makes its way towards the earth. Left arm's going to rise to the sky. Reaching through those left fingers, keeping the left sits bone planted on the earth. We'll take a nice deep long breath here. And we can stay right here, or we can bring this left hand around the back of the body, reaching for the right hip, bringing just a little bit of a deeper twist into the spine, gazing over the left shoulder. And on the exhale, slowly returning to center and sitting up nice and tall. Left hand comes under the left ankle, elbow makes its way towards the earth. We're going to twist through the center of the body as we reach the fingers up towards the sky. Again, try to keep the sits bones grounded as we grow the arm up as long as we can get it, fingertips as if they're reaching for the ceiling. And staying here or bringing this right hand around the back of the body, landing on the left hip. Maybe gaze over the right shoulder. And with our exhale, we'll slowly return to center and gently unwind. We're going to stand those knees, bring the heels nice and close in towards our body. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to find that tripod, that place where the sits bones and the tailbone come together underneath us. Create a little tripod for balance. Belly button comes in towards the spine here, and we're going to either hold onto the knees or reach the fingertips out away. Keeping those knees in nice and strong, toes are flexed. Strong through the center of the body, lift through the center of the head. One more breath. And on our exhale, let the heels drop to the earth as we extend the legs out in front, arms rise up overhead, and we find our forward fold. Roll the sits bones out behind us. Belly button comes down towards the thighs. Gaze drops to the knees, and we'll breathe here. Continue rolling those sits bones out behind us. Keep the belly engaged. And with our next inhale, we're going to bend the right knee and see if we can extend through that left leg just a little bit more. Nice deep bend in the right knee gives us a little more freedom on that left side. And from here, we'll switch, reach through the right heel, bend the left knee. One more breath. And then we'll straighten out both of the legs. And with our next inhale, sit up nice and tall. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees. Give yourself a moment here to find our tabletop. Palms are directly below the shoulders. Knees come directly below the hips. Nice and strong through the belly. We're going to shift our weight onto the right knee and extend the left foot out behind. Press the toes down into the mat and then shift the weight out that left heel. We're opening through the bottom of the foot, through the heel and the Achilles, and all the way up into the calf. You're welcome to stay here, or if you want to build a little bit of fire in your practice, we can lift the right knee off of the earth, engage the core. We'll find one more deep breath here. And on the exhale, right knee is going to come all the way up in between the hands, and we'll lower down for pigeon. We're going to keep the chest up nice and high, gaze out in front. Again, the heart is reaching towards the top of the mat rather than the center of the head reaching for the sky. So we're enjoying a little bit of that angle here in our pigeon. One more deep breath. And then curl those toes under behind us, lift through the back of the left knee, right foot steps back, and we find plank. Shoulders are directly over the wrists, one long line from the heels up and out the center of the head. And on our exhale, back into tabletop. Give yourself a moment to settle into tabletop, find your balance. And we're going to shift our weight into the left knee. Right leg comes out behind, press the toes into the earth, and then shift out that right heel. Again, if you want a little bit more fire this morning, you're welcome to lift that left knee off the earth. And from here, slowly shift forward. Left knee comes up in between the hands, and we'll settle into that left side. Breathing into the left hip, again, enjoying that slight angle forward, reaching the heart towards the top of the mat. And from here, we'll curl the right toes under, lift through the back of the right knee, left foot steps behind, finding plank. And with our exhale, knees come to the earth, and we shift back for child's pose. While we're in child's pose, we're going to roll the wrists. Maybe create a gentle fist and roll the wrists in each direction. Just releasing any tension from being on hands and knees. And with our next inhale, we'll come back up onto all fours. If it's uncomfortable on your wrists to be in this position, you're welcome to come onto fists. So be gentle with your body, feel into what's right for you. Taking another moment here in tabletop. And we're going to shift the weight onto the right knee. Left leg is going to extend out behind, trying to get that leg parallel with the earth if possible. And then the right arm comes out in front, making our way into bird dog. Reach through the left heel and the right fingers. With our exhale, we're going to bring that left knee and right elbow together, arcing through the spine, belly comes in. Inhale, open. Exhale, come in, engage the core. Inhale, open. Two more here, exhale in. Inhale, open. And last one, exhale in. And inhale, open. Breathing here in bird dog, one more breath. And then releasing into tabletop. You're welcome to wag the tail, shift the weight from left to right. And then as you're ready, coming back into tabletop. Right leg is going to extend out behind. Left arm reaches out in front. We're going to reach through those left fingers as we're reaching through the right heel. Belly's in nice and strong. On the exhale, we're going to bring elbow and knee together. And inhale, open. Exhale, come in, engage the core, round the spine. Inhale, open. We'll do 2 more here. Follow your breath. Last one. Finding bird dog. And as you're ready, coming back into tabletop. Peel that belly up and away from the earth. We're going to find the strength here. Press the palms into the ground. 1 more breath. And with our exhale, shifting back for child's pose, forehead comes to the floor. From here, we're going to walk our hands as far left as we can get them. And then think about trying to bring your tailbone towards your left heel. Just a micro movement here, increasing the stretch down the right side of the body. And we'll make our way back to center. And then hands go to the far right. Again, we're going to try to think about pointing the tailbone towards the right heel. One more breath. And making our way back to center. We're going to come up into tabletop. One long, deep breath here. And then curl the toes under, lift the sits bones to the sky, and we'll make our way into our first downward dog. We can pedal out the feet, shift the weight from left to right. Give yourself a couple moments here to find your dog, and then as you're ready, bring the heels towards the earth, sits bones reach towards the sky, and we find our dog. With our next inhale, right foot flies to the sky. Point through those right toes and then gently bend the knee so the right foot drapes over the left side of the body. We're reaching the right knee towards the heavens as the toes make their way down towards the earth. We'll find our breath here. And with our next inhale, right foot reaches for the sky, trying to put your toe print on the earth, on the sky, up on that ceiling ahead of you. 1 more breath. And on the exhale, right foot comes all the way up in between the hands. We're going to plant our feet for warrior 1. Take your time coming on up. Right knee directly above or somewhere behind the ankle. Fingertips reach for the sky. Soft shoulders. Gentle tuck in the tailbone. Lengthen through those left hip flexors. Lift through the low back. Belly's nice and strong here. 1 more breath. With our next inhale, strong transition here, we're going to kick off the left foot and then bring the left leg all the way in front of us at a 90-degree angle. So as you're ready, on that next inhale, bring that left foot all the way forward. Fingertips stay up towards the sky. Ankle, hip, and knee are at 90. Hands will come down for goddess arms. Fingers are spread. Heart is open. Elbows at a 90-degree angle. Strong in the belly. We're going to turn towards that left leg. Engaging the core. And on the exhale, gently unwind. You can stay here. You can move into your mountain, or you can play with warrior 3. Fingertips reach towards the sky. We can kick the left leg out behind us. Gaze down at the earth. Strong flex through that left foot. From here, let's fly our hands by our side, open through heart center, reach the fingers back towards the left toes. Strong transition, we're going to come back into warrior one. Trust that the earth will be there for you as that left foot lands. Arms rise for the sky. Find your warrior. One more long breath here. And with our exhale, hands come to the earth. We're going to step back for downward dog. If downward dog is not a restful posture for you this morning, you're welcome to come into child's pose. And we'll breathe here. And with our next inhale, left foot's going to fly to the sky. Point through those left toes. Again, trying to put your footprint on the sky. And then gently bend the knee so the left foot drapes over the right side of the body, finding three-legged dog, lifting the left knee to the heavens. Again, kick the left foot back to the sky. And as you're ready, we're going to bring it all the way through, finding our warrior one. Take your time coming up. Left knee directly above or somewhere behind the ankle. Square off the hips, reach through the fingers, soften the shoulders. And breathe here in your warrior. Find the breath. With our next inhale, we're going to step forward, bringing that right knee out in front. Ankle, knee, and hip at 90. And then shoulders open, elbows drop down. Keep the fingers spread, lots of activation through the hands. We're going to use the belly to twist towards that left knee, or excuse me, right knee. Opening out to the right side of the body. And from here, return to center on the exhale. Again, you're welcome to stay here, step down for your mountain, or we can play with warrior three. Kick the right foot out behind, reach through the fingers. And then fly the hands by your side, open through the heart. Reach those fingers towards the toes. And with our exhale, warrior one. Long, deep breath here. And exhale, hands come to the earth. We'll step back for downward dog. And then slowly lowering the knees to the earth, we'll make our way into child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. And give those arms a break. Let them come down by the feet. Rolling the shoulders in for infant. We'll take a couple deep breaths here. And with our next inhale, bringing the hands out in front, we'll rise up for tabletop. Finding the strength in the belly, lengthen the spine. We're going to curl our toes under, roll those sits bones towards the sky, and press up for downward dog. From here, we're going to walk our hands and feet towards one another, making our way to the center of the mat. We're in Uttanasana, letting the upper body dangle, rolling sits bones towards the sky. Placing the hands just below the knees, we'll lift for a flat back. And then exhale, fold forward. Heel to toe, we're going to walk our feet out so that they're taking up the full width of the mat. And then bring our fingertips down directly below our face. If the fingertips don't touch, you're welcome to grab for that bolster or maybe a block so that your hand can come down onto something. So give yourself a moment if you want to make an adjustment. We can go fingertips. We could even go palm if that feels good on your body. So pressing that left palm down into the earth, right arm is going to rise. We're going to reach through those right fingers. Keeping the weight evenly distributed between both feet, sits bones stay rolling to the heavens. And on our exhale, we'll slowly unwind. And then right hand comes down to the mat, either fingertips or palm, and left arm rises. Rotating through the thoracic spine, reach through those left fingers. And with our exhale, slowly unwind. Heel to toe, walk those feet back to hip width apart. Soften the knees, and we're gonna roll to standing. Come on up one vertebrae at a time. Strong in the belly, rolling those shoulders down and back, lifting through the center of the head, and find your breath here. Grounding the feet into the earth, lifting through the center of the head. Again, those hands are soft, fingertips heavy. And with our exhale, slowly turn so that you're facing the long edge of the mat. And we're going to bring our feet wide. Toes are going to point out to the corners. Hands come to the hips. Sitting up nice and tall. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and let those knees trace towards the toes. You're welcome to stay right here, or you can bring arms up. Elbows at a 90, fingertips spread wide, finding goddess. On the exhale, we'll bring right elbow to right knee, left arm reaches up. Imagine that you've got a bowl of water or a precious stone in that right hand, so it's not just hanging and floppy, it's actually activated and strong. Reach through those left fingers. On the inhale, we'll come back into goddess. And breathe here. Exhale, elbow to knee, right arm rises. Again, think about holding that stone in the hand, that bowl of water, keeping that left hand active. And we'll inhale back into goddess. We're going to move with our breath here. Inhale in goddess. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, goddess. Exhale. Follow your breath. We'll do one more each side. Last one. And inhale back into goddess. Exhale, hands come to the hips. We'll straighten through those legs. Turn the toes to face forward. Roll the sits bones out behind you and come into a nice deep forward fold. Letting the upper body dangle towards the earth. Roll sits bones to the sky. And we'll breathe here. One more breath. And then heel to toe. Let's slowly walk those feet towards one another. Uttanasana. Gently bend through the knees, and we're going to roll to standing. Belly button in towards the spine. Come all the way up. Roll the shoulders down and back. And come right into that mountain. Grounding the feet into the earth. Fingertips dangling by our sides. One more deep breath here. And with the exhale, slowly release. We're going to turn on our mat, making our way to the back of the mat, letting the whole length of the mat be out in front. Inhale, arms rise. Palms come to touch, and we're going to fold forward. Gently press the palms into one another as we come all the way down. Inhale for a half lift. And exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees. We're going to walk the hands out for plank. Shoulders directly over the wrists. Nice long line from the heels up and out the center of the head. You're welcome to bring knees to the earth. We've got two options here. We're going to move into a side plank. One option is to stay where you are And then drop the heels to the right and bring the left arm to the sky. The other option would be to drop the knees and then let the feet roll over, bringing left hand and extending left foot. So choosing whichever variation feels most right for you. We're going to breathe into side plank. Either variation, we reach the fingers towards the sky, we lift the hip, that left hip towards the sky, and the strength comes all the way from the earth up into the body and out to the sky. With our exhale, we'll come back into plank. If your knees are down, find tabletop, and we'll all come to child's pose. Roll out that right wrist. And with our inhale, we'll make our way back into plank or tabletop. And then find the variation that feels most right for you. One knee down or both legs up. We're going to reach through the right hip, reach through the right fingers. One more strong breath here. And with our exhale, we'll make our way back into plank. Knees down, child's pose. Roll out that left wrist. And from child's pose, we'll make our way down onto our belly. We're going to bring our arms out overhead, placing a cheek or forehead down on the earth. We're going to bring our feet to the bottom corners of the mat and our arms extend out beyond the upper corners. So they're not directly out in front, we're at a little bit of an angle. With our next inhale, we're going to press the right hand and the left foot down into the earth. And we're going to lift the left hand and the right foot. So with our next inhale, gaze comes out in front, press the right hand and the left foot down, raise the left hand and the right foot. Strong here through the opposite diagonals of the body. And on the exhale, lower down, you can place your opposite cheek or forehead on the mat. And with our next breath, we'll go into the opposite side. So inhale, gaze out in front. Raise the right hand and left foot, and then press left hand and right foot into the earth. And with our exhale, release, coming all the way down. Give yourself a moment to roll over onto your back and bring knees into the chest. When those knees come in, give yourself a gentle rock from side to side. Just releasing any tension along the spine or in the low back. And from here, we're going to keep the right knee hugged in and then lower the left leg to the earth. Let's bring this right knee across the left side of the body. We're just going to bring it as far as the hip allows without bringing that right shoulder off the earth. So we're just focusing on the outside of the right hip rather than coming into a full spinal twist. We'll get there. We're going to just start here. Keeping that right shoulder down, maybe even extending the right hand to the side. And then from here, let's take this twist a little deeper. This right knee is going to come closer towards the earth. It doesn't have to touch. Just allowing that spiral to come up through the vertebrae and maybe even gaze over the right hand. One more deep breath. And with our exhale, we'll slowly unwind, coming back to center, and then extend the right leg back down onto the earth. Left leg comes in, giving that left knee a great big hug. We're going to bring this left leg across the right side of the body. Again, keep that left shoulder blade pressed down. We're really focusing on the outside of the left hip and down that IT band on the left. And then slowly lowering this left knee down further to the right. Maybe gaze over the left shoulder. Enjoying a spinal twist all the way from the tailbone up to the cervical spine. And from here, we'll make our way back to center, giving that left knee a great big hug, and then extend the left leg down onto the earth. Arms cup up overhead. We're going to reach through the fingers as we point through the toes. And then slowly walk the feet to the bottom right corner, and we'll cross the left foot over. Hands go to the upper right corner, and we'll hold on to that left wrist, breathing down the left side of the body. Enjoying the space between ribs, the space between bottom rib and top of the hip. And from here, come back to center. And then walk the feet to the bottom left corner and cross the right foot over. Hands go to the upper left corner, and we'll hold on to that right wrist. Breathe from right pinky finger down to the right toe. Breathing down the right side of the body, opening through armpit, through rib cage, through hip, IT band, all the way down into the foot. And we'll enjoy a couple long, deep breaths here. And with the exhale, slowly make your way back to center. Full body breath, reach through the fingers, reach through the toes. And with the exhale, let the hands come down by your sides. Palms are open to the space in the room. And let the eyes close if they aren't there already, if that feels comfortable for you. Maybe place the tongue on the roof of the mouth right behind the front two teeth. Shoulders roll down and back. Jaw is at rest. Face is at rest. And we let our feet flop open. Releasing any holding or tension in the hands or the feet. Just letting them be held by the earth. We're letting our body recognize Savasana, knowing that this position is one of rest and restoration, finding stillness and quiet. We encourage the mind to follow, also breathing in stillness and quiet. And we'll take some long, deep breaths here. If it's comfortable for you, maybe place one hand on low belly and one hand on heart center. And again, feeling that four-part breath, the rise in the chest, rise in the belly. Exhale, releasing through belly, releasing through chest. Like the ocean tide, swell builds, tide rises, and slowly recedes back into the ocean. Feeling the connection of the rhythm of nature inside of our bodies. Maybe the more attention given to the rise and fall of the breath, the slower and longer and deeper the breath becomes. Letting our mind bring all of its attention to the breath can help quiet the other thoughts, worries, tensions, or concerns of the mind. Even if we can experience momentary break from the constant workings of the mind, just simply rest in the spaciousness of the breath. Those moments become deeply nourishing. And slowly allowing the awareness to come down into the right foot. Gently point and flex. Roll the ankle. And find stillness. And the awareness travels over into the left foot. Point and flex. Rolling the ankle. And find stillness. Notice the breath. And the awareness travels into the right hand, bringing fingertips in towards the palm. Give a gentle squeeze and roll the wrist. Slowly unfurl the fingers, finding stillness, finding breath. The awareness travels into the left hand. Fingers come in towards palm with a gentle squeeze. Roll the wrist and slowly unfurl the fingers. Using your next inhale to bring the heels towards the sits bones, knees in towards chest, and rolling over onto one side. Giving ourselves the opportunity to shift positions and orient onto a side, finding the breath. Using your next inhale to press up to a comfortable seated position. Making your way up onto your sits bones, either perched upon the cushion, cross-legged on the mat, maybe finding a chair or a stool. Sits bones ground into the earth, spine lengthens, reaching through the center of the head. And on the next inhale, arms rise, breathing in the merit and the abundance of our practice. On the exhale, palms come to heart center. I want to thank you all for joining us in practice. Hope that you have a wonderful and inspiring day and conference. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our last day of morning yoga. Be well.